Man, pocket doors are making a comeback. So this pocket door is old and the track is old. It had a good run. It's been there like 70 years, probably a little more than that. And now it's time to go because the door is scraping against the side of the door frame. Is there an issue with the track? Is there something inside of the wall? I have no idea. I have none. Hence the title on the thumbnail, The Law Started Figuring Things Out. Now, I've used that before because, I have a thing, man. I have a real thing about where society is going and people not learning how to just figure things out, how to figure out issues, especially in this type of business. Now, in order to get any pocket door out, you got to remove some of the trim, right? Just so you can pull the door out enough to lean it out of the track and pull it out, especially these old school tracks. I mean, back in the day, they did a lot of stuff right, but some of them guys, they were no different than anybody else. They cut corners, right? Not all of them, of course, but some of them cut corners. Sometimes I've taken the trim off and the trim is covering up so much stuff that the door's not level, the track is off. Like, it's a lot of things going on. So this door, I had to take a lot of extra things off to get this door, and it still wouldn't release the door freely. So the easiest thing to do in this situation, since the tracks are like the wheels hooked on one side, so if you lift it up high enough, you just pull it out, man. It might bend the track up, but nobody cares. We're throwing all this stuff in the trash. And you see how this door is solid? Watch when I turn it around. Look at all those scrapes on the side. It was just really scraping up hard. It was getting really hard to open. So got the door out though. Part 1 is done. All right, y'all. It's time for me to give a shout out to this video sponsor, Jobber. For me, Jobber's the ultimate CRM, man. And if you're going to take business seriously, one thing that Jobber really helps me do, right? I always like to point out certain like very detailed aspects of just small things. Like I look at the micro of what Jobber helps me do. And man, scheduling, I know some people don't look at scheduling as a big deal, right? But scheduling is huge. I'm going to be honest, man. I'm one of those people that at one point in time, I kept my schedule in here. I mean, I might schedule out a job here and there, but like I'm talking about estimates, like the whole 9, it would be in here that I'd just be remembering, all right, tonight at 4 o'clock, I got to go. Man, forget all that. As soon as I talk to a customer, no matter what the situation is, whether I need to get back to them, whether I'm scheduling a job out, whether I'm scheduling an estimate, like it doesn't matter. And if you're like me, a one-man shop, or even if you have other employees, this is like having a personal assistant. Right in your pocket. Use my code in the description. Get you a discount, man. It's on me, all right? You won't regret it. Next thing, got to get the track out. And to get to the screws that are way back inside of the wall, got to open it up. Ain't really much of a choice. I see somebody make a little contraption before, but it's really difficult. Now you see this track right here, it's really thin, it's flimsy. I don't know if this is the problem, right? We're still trying to figure it out. Now you can also see inside of the wall, that's what the track looks like. So it doesn't look like there's any issue with the track itself, but I guess we'll find out. One thing I do want you to look at though, is you can see it on the left side of the wall, you can see some anchors sticking through. So on that side is drywall. You can kind of tell like way back is drywall. But on the right side is plywood. This is all part of figuring it out though, right? These are certain things you have to take into account. So let's keep it moving. Now to get the track out, I got to cut open the drywall, so I got to use my bubble. That's what a lot of people online call it, man. They call it my bubble. But hey, that's how I like to protect the house, man. No dust everywhere. Now, if you noticed around the door when I cut, the outside of this is actually plaster, right? So that's why I have the angle grinder. And of course, the angle grinder wakes way more dust than anything else. Now, this is, behind it is drywall, like I showed you on the inside of the wall, but out in the front is plaster. That means this is called rock lath. It's something they used to use back in the 50s. It's basically just drywall with plaster on the front. And sometimes that plaster is super solid and it'll just destroy multi-tool blades. But as I was cutting, I was like, man, this is kind of soft. Let me try the multi-tool. Man, that multi-tool cut right through this plaster like butter. So, and of course, as you notice, much less dust, way easier to cut it with the multi-tool anyway. So that ended up being wonderful, wonderful. All right, I want to show y'all something real quick. This is not no long history of drywall and nothing like that. Just real quick, is that this is a regular sheet of drywall, right? This is modern drywall. This is, I think, 5/8 of an inch, but modern drywall. You know, originally, you know, back in the day, they had lath and plaster. I'll show y'all a picture of that. Little slats of wood on the wall, and then somebody would go over it, you know, with plaster. And to make it stronger, they'd put all kind of stuff in it. Sometimes sand, horsehair, you know, sometimes the wire, you know, the sheets of wire or metal mesh. Now, like the 40s and 50s, they had come up with something, well, I think before that, but when they really implemented it a lot, was called rock lath, which is this. Now you see, if you look closely, let me see a better angle. Oh, there we go. You'll see this bottom layer is actually drywall, right? What we would consider drywall, 3/8 of an inch drywall. But then on top, they would go over it with a layer of plaster. So, you know, if you have a house that's, you know, maybe from the 60s or the 50s or earlier, and it's not lath and plaster, you might get lucky. It might be this rock lath. It's heavy though. It is heavy because it was plaster, but just wanted to give y'all an understanding of what you might be working with. One of the reasons why I chose to go through this side instead of the other side is because that plywood. That plywood, I just wasn't sure what it was attached to or nothing. So what I wanted to do was choose the easier side to cut open so I can, you know, hopefully fix it from here. That would absolutely be the best case scenario. So now I'm just trying to finish getting this railing out. And of course it has flathead screws because it's old school. So a little difficult, but got it done. Got it done. And here goes the new track. Now, I'm gonna tell you straight up, most YouTube videos are gonna show you like, hey man, you just cut this little hole, you put the new track up, hang the new door, and throw your hands up like Rocky. And that's it, you're done. Now, sometimes that might be the case, but man, these older houses, it ain't like that. There's a whole lot of adjustment left. So I wanted to just show you a little close up of what the new tracks look like. The wheels kind of sit inside the track, which is why you cut the track short. So in the future, you can just take the wheels out and put new wheels back in. And you know, my customer didn't know, but I added the slow close feature for him to, you know, just enhance it, man. You know, this is one of them customers that tell me like, hey, if you see something that I'd like, just do it. So you ain't said nothing but a word. It's done. Now let me show you something real quick. This opening, see right there? It's only at 1.5 inches at that spot. You move it down, it's the same 1.5 inches. It's actually a little small. It's about 1 3/8 inches. Then you move it down, it's 1.5 inches again, it opens back up. 1.5 inches is too small already because the door itself is 1 3/8 of an inch, you know, the door itself. So if everything was super perfect, 1.5 inches might work, but of course it's not. So what's wrong with this wall? It bows inward. It bows inward. Now, why is it doing that? It's because this wall is just too heavy. You see that plaster, that rock lath, and the plywood? That heaviness is just, a pocket door is not made to hold the weight of that wall. It's just not. It's made to keep a structure, but it can't hold the weight. So that has been just pushing itself in over time. That's why when you get to the top and the bottom, it's opened up to the right size. But you get in the middle, it's just pushed itself in. And that means we got some work to do, y'all. I know what your first thought was. It's like, just get a whole new frame, man. Just get a new pocket door frame and install it. Well, here's the thing. Look down here. The floor, not level at all. The walls, especially in this door frame, not level or plumb at all. Let me take you up to the top of this door frame. That's not level either. And I didn't mention that the height of this door opening is not standard height, it's shorter. So if I got a new frame, I'd be doing all types of surgery to the brand new frame. So, and on top of that, you gotta think, I'm replacing it with drywall. So now the thickness of the wall is gonna be a problem too. So if I just get a new frame, it's just gonna make more work. At least that's how I see it. I mean, some people might actually see it and say, you know what? I wanna install a new frame. and just go with that and just, make that, cut it and do whatever I need to do, shim everything out to make it fit perfectly. That's perfectly fine. I just see it differently, and it's okay. It's just part of figuring things out. So as long as we get to the same solution in the end, that, we got a pocket door that works perfectly fine, and we didn't spend 1 million hours doing it, or in $1 million to get there, then that's what it's all about in the end. So I got to remove this wall, and it's crazy? To this day, to remove drywall, I have still not taken a sledgehammer to a wall. Shout out to the Property Brothers, man. I ain't hating, I'm just saying, it just seems like you make more work, man, just having to clean up crumbs and dust everywhere. It's just cutting the drywall and removing it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. With this rock lath in corners, like in the doors, they used to use this mesh to make it stronger. So the mesh is not throughout the whole wall. It's only where the corners are. But it's actually pretty easy to cut through. All right, now since I gotta use that circular saw on that plywood, I gotta make a bubble again. It's just really because, there's no way to keep that dust down, and that sawdust from the circular saw, man, that's right up there with drywall dust. You know what I mean? Look at that. It's just, and there's no, unless you know some way to contain it, because I don't. In a house, it's wild. This is all part of what I call the lost art of figuring things out. It's a lost art, and figuring things out requires a certain kind of brain power, man, like that you build over time, that your ability to go in somewhere and look at a problem and think of a solution. Takes work, man. Look at that. All right, so now I have half the frame out. The issue is, you see this side of the frame? The side of the frame looks perfectly fine, and they reinforced it. You got those 1-bys going horizontal, but then between them, you got another 1-by going vertical. They didn't do that on the other side with the plywood. All right, so you see this back here, right? I got to put drywall on this, but obviously that drywall is gonna, the wall needs to come out a little bit. So the perfect solution that I found was, instead of using 1-bys again, now I'm gonna go back to where it's notched, and I'm gonna use a regular 2x4. The 2x4s, the thickness of it should make it so that once I put those in, then all I need to do is put the sheet of drywall on top, and it should be level. It should just be level with the rock lath that's already on the wall. Now you can see from this angle how the other wall was reinforced, but I don't think I'll even have to reinforce it. We'll see once I start building it, but with the 2x4s, and I'm using braces, some angle braces on each step, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think it's gonna be stronger than ever. And plus, it's only a sheet of drywall going on top, which is way lighter than rock lath plus, plywood. So I think once I do this, it won't ever have an issue again. And that's the thing, y'all. This is the type of stuff you're not gonna be able to look up on Claude and ChatGPT. Maybe one day you'll be able to hold the camera up and just take a video, and it just comes up with ideas of how to solve the problem. Hopefully, as humans, we don't get all the way to that point where we just can't even solve our basic problems ourselves. And that's what this is for me. I'm not saying this is a basic problem, but it's just one of those things where, you got to take pride in that. You got to take pride in, no matter what trade you do, they all require the ability to figure things out, especially if you're on my end of it, because doing the repairs, a lot of stuff when it's brand new, it looks good and it goes in easy and it's all the bells and whistles. But I'm the guy, where people that do what we do, whether it's plumber, electrical, anybody that does repairs, you know that some of those products, they were good in the beginning, but now they're trash. Stuff like, everybody hates CPVC now, but I'm guessing when it came out, it was revolutionary because, man, no solder and just gluing these pipes together, and the material's so cheap. Well, years down the road, we all understand why it was so cheap. right? So repairs are always going to be more challenging, especially when you can't just knock everything down. The option in here is not to come in and just knock the wall down. I gotta figure out how to fix it. That's what they're paying you for, especially if you want to make top dollar. Nobody wants to come with you and the only thing you know is, hey, well, let's just tear it all out and start over. That might not be the most efficient thing to do. And by the way, just to let y'all know, I had a video before where I was working on a bathroom and I had my little bench that I was using for leverage. It's the same thing here. This is the same time frame where, you know, I have a knee injury, I'm nursing it. So don't y'all be like, oh man, this dude leaning on the bench. Oh, he's sitting down on the job. Man, I'm just nursing the knee. All right, so just wanted to clear that up. But I'm telling you, man, the ability to solve problems, to solve what looks like difficult problems that it's hard for other people to see. Like, think of all the issues that was wrong with this thing. The floor not being level, the door scraping, you know, the door frame not being level. It's just, you know, the thickness. How are we gonna get this to look perfectly flat again? All these things. Now you see those little angle brackets I put in? That's my reinforcement. I don't really need anything between these because it's just gonna be holding up drywall. But like I said, these are a lot of things you just gotta think about. So I could have used one whole strip going all the way down. I just didn't want to do that because it's hard to understand. This provides me a little more movement with the frame before I put the 1x in front of it. Now I still gotta adjust the track because as you see, it just moves. The door just rolls back, but I got that. That's no problem. All right, now let's get this drywall back in. And basically what I'm going for, you know, like I said, of course I want it to look like it's nothing, but now I only got to put one sheet of this lightweight drywall up here to be perfect with the rest and match up with the rest of the wall. It's a beautiful thing. I just see my doors not moving all around again. So, you know, we have that adjusted. By the way, obviously you saw with the floor, how unlevel the floor was. So yes, I did have to cut the door on a slight angle before I hung that door in there, but we could do that too. You know what I'm saying? We do it all, man. And no, you do not have to use a skimming blade, right? You don't have to use a skimming blade to fix this wall, but man, I paid a lot of money for them things, so I use them as much as I can. Man, I'd use them to put peanut butter on bread, like for real. That would probably be the most perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwich ever made. In the end, man, your brain is powerful, right? Our brains are powerful. And that's what this is all about. Originally, remember, the whole thing was getting this door fixed and getting this new door installed. And we did it, man. Look at the end result right here. Ugh, beautiful, beautiful. That slow close function is everything. And from another angle, it's what we do. Daryl, also known as the finisher. Stay safe, be blessed, and remember, if the trades don't work, nothing else does.